Hey everybody, welcome to another one of Chris's beer reviews. I went to the LCBO and I grabbed something. It was a recommendation from somebody who knew that I liked IPAs, and they said for me to try this out. It's from Halifax, Nova Scotia. It's called the Hop Yard Pale Ale, and as you can see right below the pale, it is pale. Yeah, it's pale ale. Right before pale, it says dry hopped. Now, believe it or not, I did a little bit of research on this beer on Google before I did this beer review, and I found out some interesting bits of information. Now, personally, before I did this research, a dry hopped beer or a dry wine, as you would say, has like a they both have one similar characteristic, and that's that there's a very short finish of flavor, if that makes any sense, instead of lingering in your mouth. But one thing that I found out through beer is that a dry hopped beer, um, I don't know the specific course of action that they take, but there's a specific way that they brew the hops with the beer that inevitably results in the hop flavors being more pungent or more flavorful. This was made by Garrison Brewing. It's a 5.3% ABV beer at a 341 milliliter bottle. Another thing that I like this very much. It's a Garrison Brewing cap with a cannon. Doesn't get any cooler than that. And something else that I found that was interesting too. This is also Google information. Basically, Garrison Brewing has a deal in Halifax with a farm. What was it? I think it was Ross Farms, and they have a deal with them to grow their hops for them, so they can have their hops grown locally. Because apparently, the buzz out there is that there is a huge shortage of hops worldwide. So I guess this is another one of those brewing companies trying to find another way to get the hops that they deserve. And from what I hear, this is a very, very magnificent brew. So I'm going to give it to you real quick. Now, I just realized that I don't have my lighter to open my beer. Is that the case? So I'll just use this. I have a whole pack of lighters just ready to go. Just give me a sec. Everyone thinks I'm weird because I like to use lighters, but screw the bottle caps, man. Got a cool looking little graffiti looking lighter here. Whatever. Gonna pop into the camera for you. Nice shot. Ooh, smells very nice. Well, I'm just gonna give it a pour. I should have poured that a little bit lighter. I apologize. I just like head. Alright, so now you can't, like on the camera, it looks a little bit darker, but from my perspective, it's a little bit lighter. We got a kind of copper tone looking, like orangey color. And judging by the carbonation on the inside, this is a very nicely carbonated beer. I've actually never seen such an awesome amount of carbonation just coming up straight from the center of the bottom of the glass. Anyways, that's all small talk. We got about a 1.5 finger head here. Now that the head's gone away a little bit, I can finish this off. Oh yeah. Now, let's see what I can pick up on. Well, I have a little bit of a grapefruit taste aroma in there. I'm also smelling orange. It's funny, I'm actually kind of smelling like the sweetness from an orange rather than like the orange peel or the orange itself. So yeah, here I'm going to just go in for the taste. Oh wow, very flavorful. Woo! Now I know why people were telling me, were recommending this to me. It is a pale ale. But like, believe it or not, an increasing amount of pale ale beers out there. This tastes and smells and resembles very much everything of an IPA. In fact, it resembles a West Coast IPA quite specifically. Very nice. Yeah, so basically everything that I was smelling in this brew, I'm getting in the taste. And it one thing that people don't like about IPAs, or well, it's a pale ale, which resembles that of an IPA. And what I was trying to say there is, for something that tastes a lot like an IPA, it's very, very smooth. You don't have like a very strong bite at the ending. You don't have a very strong bitterness to it that lingers. In fact, you have a little bit, like a touch of a bitter taste, and then it's gone, gone with the wind. Now, this came to Toronto recently, and from what I hear from LCBO, it's not going to be around for a long time, so you could take my word for it. If you like IPs, I recommend you go out. Sorry, IPAs. Then I recommend that you go out and give this a try. I found it at the Queens Quay LCBO, and then when I thought that that was the only place, I found it at the Avenue and Lawrence LCBO. I even think that it's at the Laird, Laird and Eglinton LCBO, where my buddy works at. Very much worth trying. Check it out on lcbo.com. Another thing that I'm liking a lot about it is I find that there's a lot of different kinds of IPAs out there, and one of the common characteristics, I don't know if that's what makes an IPA a West Coast, an East Coast, or an American IPA, but one thing I really don't like about some IPAs is the lingering, strong, syrupy aftertaste that really throws you off from the beer, because that's not really something you want to taste in your beer. All right, everybody, check out that lace. We got some pretty good lace. Actually, judging by the beginning, when I was swirling it around, it looked like it was going to have a very good, substantial volume of lace, but it's quite heavy, and it's running down faster than I personally prefer, but that's small talk. If I'm going to have to rate this out of 5, which is usually how I rate it, I think I would rate it 3.9 out of 5. Very, very good beer. I recommend it to many people. And for people who have tried IPAs, and I know people who have tried IPAs and they've said flat out, you need to have an acquired taste for this beer. I agree with them. Some IPAs are very bitter afterwards, and some IPAs are very syrupy in the aftertaste. With this eliminating the two, at least you can appreciate the hoppy flavors that come from within. I didn't mention it specifically, but I totally picked up on pine hops in there. I really like pine hops. It tastes magnificent. Anyways, thanks for joining me on another one of Chris's beer reviews. Ooh, had an air bubble in there. Don't drink and drive, but drink responsibly. Cheers.